Who would like to play a game that's a mix of Pro Skater 3, 4, and Skate? What if I told you it was aggressive inline themed? There's a chill in the air and a brace on my wrist, which can only mean one thing. It's time to dust off some old games and hope I don't sprain anything else from the couch. This time we were playing Rolling from 2003, which came out right after it put its developer Rage Software out of business. It was released exclusively in Europe to some pretty mediocre reviews. They were about as excited for it as they were for a bowl of plain oatmeal. They called it dated and retro, which is really just code for not as good as Tony Hawk's Underground. But these games are 20 years old now, which means they're all dated. Is this one any good, though?
The game feels like a blend of Pro Skater 3 and 4, but with a twist. You're on a 3-minute timer, and you can chat up the photographers for challenge info, like what tricks they want you to do, or, take a moment to appreciate the very triangularly buxom NPCs. Seriously, this is Lara Croft level. I'm impressed. And it's got the scope of Skate. Yeah, the high score challenges will have you acting up with some crazy combos, but most challenges, they're down to earth, like knocking down hornets' nests. Nothing says aggressive inline like casual pest control.
Let's call the realism of the challenges the first positive trait about the game, but here's the kicker. As a skateboarder, I'm genetically obligated to loathe anything related to rollerblading. So anytime I say something good about the game, we're gonna have to watch an inline slam as a palate cleanser. Ooh, like that one.
One thing I genuinely enjoy is the variety of challenges. There are only 2 high score challenges per level and a total of 12, so there's plenty of room for all kinds of stuff. Like a challenge where you meet a pro who shows you a trick or combo to mimic. I enjoy these, but man, they're picky. For example, this backflip to fakie into a cess slide into a, wait for it, Mizzou grind, which sounds more like a sneeze than a trick, but the marker for that backflip is nowhere near the quarter pipe. I did the same thing 30 times before it finally recognized my steez. And these photographers, there are a few. One wants a video of your high combo score, another wants a specific gap, and yet another wants a trick at a spot for a magazine cover. Your replays get saved like in Skate, so at least you can relive your most embarrassing ankle tweak grind moments over and over. What a treat. Aside from that, there are 2 collectibles. Logo pieces, which are like the Skate letters, but way less cool, and the Video Groove logo, which is basically a secret tape. But you don't get scarred trying to watch it like that secret tape you found in your weird uncle's dresser. Then there are environmental collectibles. For example, one challenge involves delivering records to a DJ. My favorite? The vampire one. Instead of collecting something, you're adjusting mirrors to zap a vampire with sunlight. Finally, a little character. Now let's get to the trick mastering system, which I also like. You master a trick by doing it 50 times, which makes the trick name pop up in color, kind of like a kindergarten art project but with way more broken bones. It forces you to mix it up, so you're not just doing the same trick over and over, like me at the skate park trying to put together a line of the 3 tricks I'm consistent at. But it also bumps up the point value. In theory, you're making that L Kang so buttery that it's more impressive to watch. And it's not just the base tricks like the grabs and the flips and the grinds. It counts for spins in and out of stuff, like a 270 in and an 810 out. And yes, it uses the half spin numbers, which I like. Another thing that I like is that there are a lot of videos to unlock. Every level, when you match the pro's trick, you get his pro video. And you get bail videos from time to time too. That might be because I'm playing as a hideous custom character. We'll get to that in the negatives, but first let's look at the control system. The controls are what you'd expect from a Tony Hawk clone, except here, square is grab and circle is for flips. But who thought it was a good idea to assign flips and spins to a button? You might go for a 360 but accidentally double tap, like when your mom and your aunt come over, and next thing you know, you're committed to a 900. Oh, and there are cess slides. These are just power slides that you can do anywhere, and there are different types with your ankles bent in various ways. Because this game is more realistic than Tony Hawk, getting around is a bit more annoying. You can't just wall ride up the side of a building and ollie into a grind, but hey, you can walk up the stairs in your skates. Who knew that was going to be a feature? Special tricks? Not really. You can do multi-button tricks like a left-right grind, but you don't need a special meter. Occasionally it'll say, X2, go for it, dude, which sounds like the headline on the skateboard page of a Toys R Us catalog. Another thing missing is being able to level out after transferring too far and missing the vert. Maybe this was intentional to keep things realistic. but it sucks. A quirk in the game is that sometimes a photographer will ask you to do a trick you don't have. It took me a long time to figure out that I needed to go in the menu and change my trick loadout. I was expecting to have to unlock these tricks later, but it actually just makes sure you use all of the tricks available to you. I'm kind of torn on that because I didn't know what to do or how to do it, but it's not a bad idea. And with that stuff out of the way, let's look at the bad. And let's start with my monstrous created character. I usually try to make myself in a video game, and if you've ever seen me before, you know this ain't it. The system is crazy. You pick 3 body types, put them in a triangle, and then you can move it around to morph your body into a mixture of them. I'm 6'2", 6'3"-ish, and this Frankenstein monster homunculus that I made is only 6'1", and yet he doesn't fit through a doorway. You unlock body parts as you play the career, which is incredibly macabre. Then there's the voiceover during contests. This guy has 3 lines, and 2 of them are just him yelling about how next I am.
I'm telling you, that kid's next. This is next up right there.
I was impressed by how good it sounded for one run, but just please stop it, bro. After that,
next
are the stupid trick names.
Look, I get it. Skateboard names are pretty dumb too, but I'm used to them. Like the salad grind, pretty ridiculous.
I did a free fish brain into a sweat stance. Really? Then there's a grind called a mistrial. Seriously, there are trick tips online about it and everything. I tried to figure out where that name comes from, but I came up with nothing. And the trick variety? Well, the grabs are just which foot do you grab and with which hand. It's not exactly earth-shattering stuff here. That's just how inline is, but they could have gone crazy like in the Tony Hawk games and had a special trick where you deliver a pizza or something. Speaking of which, the biggest problem, the game lacks personality. Other than the vampire challenge, everything feels so generic. Graphics quality aside, the style is just boring. They could have gone for a punk vibe, imagine people in leather jackets with pink mohawks shredding, or there could have been graffiti everywhere to give you something to look at, but nope. It's just your average neighborhood t-shirt and jeans crowd. Yawn.
All in all, I made it about 2/3 of the way through the game. It's okay. If there was a sequel or 2, they could have maybe polished it up and added some stuff and made it really good. But even so, I don't think it would have touched 2002's aggressive inline, which I reviewed right there, and I liked that a lot more. So what should I play next? Is it Razor Scooter? Maybe? You let me know in the comments. Also, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe on this video. I also have a website, radratvideo.com, where you can check out some more, and I will see you later. Thanks for hanging out.